Hey everybody, I know I haven't made a video in quite a while. Just been really busy and haven't really felt that great lately. But if you remember the incident involving Onyx where he unfortunately ended up passing away, we are probably going to move Raw out of this 10-gallon. He's a baby sharp albino male boa constrictor. He started out in this because he was really little when we got him, but he's starting to grow out of it. So probably going to move him out of here and move him over here to Onyx's tank, which we have to clean this out really good and replace pretty much everything. We're going to get a lot of these things out, but we're going to really clean and disinfect the tank. Probably move Raw's stuff in here that he's used to having so that Raw can have a 20-gallon to kind of finish out his first to second year in. But it's one of those things to where we hate it, and if you knew the story or were following what happened with Onyx, he developed a really large swell in the lower third of his body. We weren't sure what it was. So we took him in to the vet and they did an x-ray. They looked at him. They couldn't find anything like a solid obstruction. But like I said, they couldn't find an actual physical obstruction. So we were given some antibiotics to give to him for 5 days. We had to give it to him once a day for 5 days in a row, soak him every day in a warm water soak to try and help him try to use the bathroom and see if that would aid in his potential recovery. We were told to stop the medicine for 10 days, try to feed him since he already hadn't eaten in the past week or two, and do another 5-day round of the antibiotics to hopefully clear out anything that was actually going on. Unfortunately, the vet did not really come to a conclusion on what was really wrong with him. We couldn't figure out what was really wrong with him. And we just know that he started acting really lethargic. The medicine seemed to be making the swell go down. But he, started acting really lethargic, barely moved at all. Just kind of started being like really lifeless in his tank. And normally he was a very active snake. As you know, he was a Mexican Black Kingsnake. He was about 6 months oldish. He was under a year. And we could not get him to eat during the 10-day interval, which we only made it to day 3 or 4 after the first 5 days of the medicine, and he passed away. He was alive. I was checking on him morning and night before I'd go to bed just to kind of see where he was at, and we would try to offer him food. And my husband came home one night really late and came upstairs and told me that he had passed away. And the next morning I buried him. But we have not messed with his tank ever since. We have had some of our snakes become ill and have some health issues that we've actually been able to resolve at home through research on the internet and watching a lot of really good educational YouTube videos to figure out some home remedies. There's quite a few things you can do for your snakes at home, but this was a situation where we had to go to the vet and we had to seek another opinion and get an x-ray. And even though we did that and we tried our best to help him, it ultimately did not work and he passed away anyway. So, as you know, he was our only king snake. King snakes are my favorite, so it was really sad for me because he was literally one of my favorite snakes we had. And we really enjoyed having him, and it's just a very unfortunate situation to have, but we still have his tank over here on this rack of 3, and we've got this one over here still. We have a super dwarf and dwarf reticulated python, and then a Harley's in the middle. She is our almost 2-year-old hypo harlequin boa constrictor tank over here, which is, like I said, the 10 gallons. So we're probably going to move him out of here. I don't know what we're going to do with this one yet. I might put something else in here. If we decide to get another king snake or smaller colubrid or anything like that, they might go in here. Haven't really thought about it, but we would like to keep this down here because we kind of had a whole display going on, and we don't want to have to change anything about it, because we really do enjoy this down here, and we're going to try to utilize these tanks as best we can. And when all these boa constrictors and reticulated pythons grow out of these 20 gallons and go upstairs into their large PVC enclosures that we've got coming soon, then the only things that will stay down here will be snakes and or other reptiles that can live out their lives in a 20-gallon. If I start a snake in that 10-gallon over there, that eventually will need to be moved to a 20 or even a 40 one day, I can always upgrade over there, because that surface is big enough to hold up to a 40, because Lucian's Exoterra Large Low used to be over there. So I can do that. But we do want to utilize all these tanks still. We really like this setup, and we would still like to have some things down here even when all the larger constrictors move upstairs. So I wanted to give you guys kind of an update of our snake room up here. We got rid of Lucian's enclosure. We didn't need it anymore. It was sitting over here. And so I made a little table with the extra lamp we had and some supplies, because we have our weight scale right there. We have some egg boxes. We got vermiculite, a temp gun, and we also found a home for Phoenix. If you remember, he was our baby sharp albino male boa that had the kink in his neck. We were not planning on breeding him. We were basically sent him by mistake by the breeder that we ordered a healthy male sharp albino from for breeding purposes, and we were told to keep Phoenix even though we were being sent a replacement. And we knew that we had only ordered enough PVC, like large PVC enclosures, for the constrictors that we already had accounted for living in those. So we knew that we needed to try to find him a good pet home. Someone my husband knew, their family took him in. And we told them, if something happens and it's too much for you, just please give him back to us. We want him back, because we will make things work. Because we do really care about him, and we don't want the wrong person having him or, anything like that. But everybody's still doing good that we've got left in here. We got Sulian in his hide in there. Haven't been able to weigh him lately because they just ate. And we've got Zahara in her hide in there. Our adult female visual albino 100% het clown. We've got Priya. Still waiting to see if she's gonna lay. We've got maybe 2 weeks. So we're kind of waiting to see on her. We got our incubator set up and running. Soul is in here. She's our baby super pastel desert ghost. I'm excited for her to grow up. Leo is in here. This is the male that bred with Priya twice. So if she does lay eggs, he will be the father of the clutch. So he is a pastel inchy pinstripe 100% het orange ghost. So we really like him. And I don't know where Calypso is. She's back here somewhere. She's probably in her hide. But she is our normal. That's double het for clown and orange ghost. And then obviously we ended up moving Lucian down here. We had to move him down here because he was not eating anymore in that Exoterra Large Low, so we moved him down here. and he's eaten every time for us. So sometimes racks are way better than glass tanks and enclosures, and that's just how it is. So you just have to do what works for you. Sometimes ball pythons just thrive better in tubs. Obviously, we have Flick down here, our Russian tortoise. He stays in here. And then this is Nala's 40-gallon tank. She's our chainsaw ball python. She has been staying over here under her plants lately, but she normally would kind of hang out in here. But this is just kind of the room we've got set up, and obviously that back there is our hatchling rack for if we get any babies one day. The babies will stay in here. There's 36 tubs. They can stay in here up to subadult size. So if in the event that we had some babies that didn't get homes right away, they can live out their first year or so of life in these, and we have plenty of room. Got a nice Varium Electronics thermostat up there. So everything's ready to go in the event that we do get some babies. So we're just keeping an eye out on that. But like I said, I know I haven't really made a video lately, but we've had some things that have kind of been going on around here. But that's just a little short update from me.